Hi guys, what's up? Today I'm going to be doing a video for the men because I realized the other day when I was looking at my channel, I haven't uploaded a men's specific video for a little while. So if you're a guy watching this video, let me know what you would be interested in seeing on my channel. Fragrance wise, please don't say OnlyFans because it's never going to happen. But fragrance wise, if you have any content suggestions, I would be very interested in hearing them. So today what I'm going to be doing is covering my favorite designer fragrances for men. Excuse me. My favorite designer fragrances for men as of right now, 2022, as of right now. I'm gonna share them with you in this video today. Something I have to say is that a lot of the fragrances in this list, you would have heard me speak about a lot on my channel when it comes to designer men's fragrances, because to be honest guys, I really don't feel like all of the new releases that have come out, nothing particularly wowed me in the men's world. So if I'm recommending still to this day La Nuit de l'Homme, that it is what it is, because for me this fragrance is fantastic, and still if I smelled it this year in 2022, I would still be absolutely blown away by the fragrance. So just keep that in mind. This is a personal list for myself of what are my favorite men's designer fragrances. So let's get into the list. Let's go. I guess let's start off with an easy one that you guys already know will be in here. It's Viktor & Rolf's Spice Bomb. Now, you can go for the extreme or the normal one. I recommend both. They both smell fantastic. As you guys know, you probably all already own it in your collection or you've smelled it before. Spice Bomb is one of my favorite designer men's fragrances for so many reasons. One, it smells fantastic. It has a slight intoxicating sweet spiciness to it, and it really makes you want to come closer. There is a friend of Pierre's that always wears it, and every single time without a doubt that I smell it on him, I am completely blown away by the way that he smells. And I always give him a compliment. I say, Michael, you smell so good, or whatever. It's a soft, spicy, woody, smooth, creamy, slightly sweet fragrance. The blend is just perfect. It's very sexy, it's very intoxicating, it's not abrasive to your senses. Like, a woman would not smell you and be like very disturbed by the smell, because it's nothing aggressive or too much. It's just blended super well. It is perfectly balanced between the soft spiciness, the woodiness, the little pepperiness, and the sweetness. It's just perfectly balanced, and I still recommend it in 2022. Spice Bomb or the extreme, you can go for either one. The longevity and projection is absolutely fantastic. You get 10 hours plus with this fragrance, 8 to 10 hours, and it projects a lot on the skin. Definitely recommend it for a date, for a signature scent, wherever you live, you can definitely pull off Spice Bomb. Next up, we have one that I don't own. It is DIOR Homme Intense. Now, there is a lot of people that think that the DIOR Homme line from Christian Dior is one of the best, and I am one of those people that agrees with this. There is something about the DIOR Homme line for men that is just magnificent. Like, it is really a special line of fragrances, and my personal favorite is not the DIOR Homme Parfum, which a lot of people love. I find this one to be, although beautiful, a little bit strong for my taste. I prefer DIOR Homme Intense. This is a very comforting fragrance. It's a soft, warm, cocooning scent. It's a little bit powdery. It has this kind of creamy, lipsticky, powdery sort ofness to it, but not in a feminine way. Don't think that if you're gonna wear this fragrance, it's gonna smell like lipstick, it's gonna smell powdery and feminine, because it really doesn't. It's just a soft, powdery, creamy, woody, warm, slightly sweet and musky fragrance. The dry down is very warm, woody and musky. The opening is a little more aromatic from some lavender, so it's absolutely beautiful. It kind of catches you with the beautiful aromatic lavender notes, and then the mid is a little bit sweet and woody, and the dry down just musky, woody heaven. It's really one of my favorite designer fragrances of all time, and I always describe it as like a warm hug, because that's what it smells like to me. I would definitely recommend wearing this one on a date. The person that you're on a date with is immediately gonna feel relaxed around you, relaxed and comforted by your scent, because it does have that kind of aura about it. So DIOR Homme Intense, a 10 out of 10 fragrance forever and ever, and the longevity and projection is fantastic on the fragrance. At least when I was trying it and testing it out and wearing it, the longevity was like 8 to 10 hours easy and with nice projection. So DIOR Homme Intense, don't forget about it. It's one of the best fragrances, the whole entire Dior Homme line. If you want something more fresh, Dior Homme Cologne, Dior Homme Sport, or the Dior Homme from 2020, it's fantastic. It's one of Pierre's favorite. Then you have the more oriental ones like Dior Homme Intense. Then you have the Dior Homme Parfum. It just depends what you like, but you would definitely find something that fits your need within the Dior Homme lines. Next up, we have Armani Code Profumo. It doesn't matter how many men's fragrances they release from Giorgio Armani, Armani Code, Code Profumo, Code Sports, Secret Code, all of these sort of flankers and stuff. My favorite, I'm sorry, but it will forever be Armani Code Profumo. To this day, it's still the one that I find the most attractive on a man. Armani Code Profumo is a very strong, intense, it has a very strong character about the fragrance, and I find it to be really, really masculine and very, very like attractive. I used to have somebody in my life that wore it and I loved whenever he wore it. It was a very strong, slightly woody. It has a bit of a smokiness to it, like a touch of this smokiness, but not, again, not in a very obvious way. It's more subdued. It has some tonka bean in there to bring like a sweetness and a creaminess. I think there is a leather note in here as well, maybe a little bit of an ambriness underneath. But overall, for me, you get a very strong, woody, slightly smoky, slightly sweet, creamy sort of scent, and it is just beautiful. Like absolutely one of my favorite men's fragrances still to this day. Armani Code Profumo. Again, I recommend this one on a date, more for a night out situation. So whether you're going to a lounge, to a club, to a restaurant, to a date, it doesn't matter. That's where I recommend this fragrance for, because it does have something kind of sexy and strong about its character. Next up, we're going to talk about Jazz Club. As you guys know, if you watch my channel, I constantly recommend Jazz Club. For me, it's the best from Maison Martin Margiela. I also really love At the Barbers for a nice, fresh barbershop scent for a man. If you were looking for that type of DNA, I love At the Barbers. It's one of my favorites. I don't have a bottle of it, but maybe I will get one soon because it's really fantastic. And personally, I am a fan of barbershop fragrances. As long as they don't smell too old or too vintage or too much, I really enjoy a barbershop scent. Anyways, going on to Jazz Club. This is one of the best fragrances that you guys are watching me right now. If I was going on a date with you, you're the person that's watching this video, I would ask you to wear this fragrance. You can tell me you would wear whatever you want, but I would like it if you wore this fragrance right here. Jazz Club is a very sexy, very woody, very mysterious, boozy, slightly sweet, slightly spicy, very sexy and intoxicating woody scent. It is just divine. You have a little bit of this spicy pepperiness, you have some booziness from some rum, you have a bit of a tobacco note in there, but the tobacco is not too smoky, so it doesn't bring this kind of like cigarette smell to the fragrance whatsoever. It is just a creamy, sexy, woody, divine fragrance. The sillage and the scent trail of this one is going to intoxicate whoever is around you when you're wearing it. Jazz Club for me is a 12 out of 10, definitely a date approved fragrance. And if you don't own it in 2022, I highly recommend that you just go and buy this one for your collection. It's a fantastic addition to your wardrobe. It reminds me of a sexy guy. We're sitting in a lounge, we're drinking an old fashioned or a whiskey, but whatever. I like an old fashioned, I also like Negroni, but Jazz Club. I want the guy to be wearing Jazz Club. Another predictable one, we have Yves Saint Laurent La Nuit de l'Homme. Some of the flankers of the L'Homme line are really great. Like I really like the L'Homme Ultime. There is Parfum, all of these different flankers that, okay, I give them credit, they are fantastic. But if you ask me to only choose one, I will tell you guys to get La Nuit de l'Homme. That's it. La Nuit de l'Homme is a fantastic, versatile scent. Very sexy. I cannot even imagine a woman not appreciating this fragrance on a guy because of how appealing and sexy and intoxicating it is. It has a slight like spiciness from some cardamom. It has a slight sweetness. There is no sweet note stated in the fragrance, but I do feel like there is a bit of an apple note in there or something sweet to keep you coming back to it. It's a aromatic, woody, very sexy fragrance. I just cannot get enough of it. When I smell it on a guy, It's almost like a bit of an aphrodisiac, to be honest. La Nuit de l'Homme, it is a fantastic fragrance, and that's why I'm going to continue to talk about it, because for me, there is not many fragrances that I love more than that one. The quality is not crazy of the scent. It doesn't last 12 hours on your skin. It probably lasts about 6 hours and then it's disappearing. And the projection is decent. It's within your bubble, I could say. But it doesn't really matter because the scent itself is just utter perfection to me. It's so likable, it's very sexy, it's very attractive, and I cannot imagine a girl not liking it on you. So La Nuit de l'Homme, Yves Saint Laurent, go get it if you don't already have it. Next up, we have the masterpiece from Jean-Claude Helena. It is Terre de Hermès from Hermès. Now, I have to say something, and I think it's the first time I'm ever gonna say this, and I can't believe it's happening. I think Terre de Hermès is my favorite designer fragrance for men of all time. Yes, I said it, mic drop, it's done. This is kind of a recent discovery of mine, as in a recent like obsession is Terre de Hermès for me. I cannot get over how incredible this scent is. I've smelled it a lot in the past and I always loved it, but when my partner wears it, there is also a hotel that I love going to in Dubai, and they have Terre de Hermès pumping through their vents. The scent of Terre de Hermès is just pure, just wow. It is just wow. Now, I know a lot of people are going to be thinking it's just Terre de Hermès, it's just a woody fragrance, it's just this, it's just that. Not for me personally, not for me at all. There is a magic about this fragrance. If you spray it on your skin just here and you go like this, maybe it's not going to smell that good to you. Maybe you're going to realize like, she doesn't know what she's talking about. It doesn't really smell that good if you go like this. The magic of Terre de Hermès is the surrounding that the scent brings. You spray it on yourself, you walk around, you see if people compliment what you're wearing and notice your fragrance. It's the bubble that it brings. It's the trail that Terre de Hermès leaves you. There is a trail really when you wear this fragrance. It's a little bit similar to Baccarat Rouge 540 from MFK. There is a very specific and special trail about this scent. You spray it on, like I said, you smell it. It smells good, it doesn't smell crazy. It's the bubble that it leaves you. It's a very dry, woody, spicy, slightly fresh fragrance. But overall for me, I get this pepperiness in the top. You get a little bit of a freshness from some citruses. Then it goes into this kind of very dry, woody scent. But there is something magical in the dry down of Terre de Hermès that I cannot even explain. It is just a 12 out of 10 fragrance. I love it with all of my heart, and I really, really recommend that you guys try this one. It is my favorite men's fragrance in the designer world, and I couldn't recommend it enough. I would say either go for the Eau de Toilette, the Eau de Parfum. Try it, get it, spray it on you, walk around, go to the shop, go to your family's house, see if anyone notices it, because there is really, like I said, something magical about the sillage of this fragrance. Another predictable one, we have Prada L'Homme. Now, I just love Prada L'Homme. There is a lot of fragrances that smell within this kind of genre of a scent, this iris, neroli, clean t-shirt sort of fragrance, but my favorite is Prada L'Homme. There is also Dunhill Icon as a more affordable like alternative to Prada L'Homme, which is also a fantastic fragrance, and it could be in this list, but I chose to recommend Prada L'Homme. I just love this fragrance. I love when I smell it on a guy. It smells so clean, so sophisticated, very elegant. It has a beautiful iris note in there. There is a beautiful neroli note. There is some pepper. It's quite a smooth, little bit powdery, creamy sort of scent with a bit of a freshness from some neroli. It overall smells like a very classy guy. He's very sophisticated. He has good manners. He's well educated, and he has a great job. Prada L'Homme is the sort of fragrance that I see on that person, and I just love it so much, so I'm gonna put it in this list. Prada L'Homme, definitely one of my favorite designers of all time. Quickly gotta mention it, Chanel Bleu de Chanel. I also really love Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme, but I didn't put it in this list. If I could only choose one of the two, even though I would say Allure Homme Sport Eau Extreme is more like playful, more sexy, more casual, I like the classic sophistication that Bleu de Chanel brings. I also love Platinum Egoiste. There is so many from Chanel that I could recommend to you guys, even from the exclusives line, but I'm just gonna go with the classic that I always love to smell on a guy. It's Bleu de Chanel. If you are coming up to me and you're wearing Bleu de Chanel, I know that you smell good. You smell good, you're a nice guy, you're put together if you're wearing Bleu de Chanel. It's a fantastic fragrance. There is a lot going on, yet it's still a very simple scent. There's a freshness, there is a slight incense note, there is a woodiness, there is a pepperiness. It is just a fantastic fragrance. You all know how it smells. Yes, it's not the most unique. You're not gonna smell unique, but at the end of the day, I still really like it. So that's why I'm gonna tell you guys to go and check it out or buy it or wear it if it's already in your collection, because I personally really like the way that it smells. I'm gonna hit you with a completely random pick that I don't think I've ever spoken about on my channel, but I absolutely love it. I cannot get enough of this fragrance. I just love it, and it's from Tom Ford. Now, as you guys know, if you've been watching the video, I'm sure you have, maybe you're not, maybe you just skip to this point, but I am not including private blends from designer collections. So we're not talking about the Chanel exclusives or the private line from Yves Saint Laurent, otherwise Tuxedo would be in here. We're just talking about designers themselves. Now, next up I have one from Tom Ford, and as you guys know, I love Tom Ford Noir Extreme. I love Black Orchid on a Man. I really love Black Orchid on a Man. It's fantastic. But I have a new favorite. A new love, a new favorite that I never really even bothered to smell it on a guy, to try it, and I am obsessed. There is somebody in my life that wears it all the time, and also Pierre is obsessed with this fragrance, and it is so good, you guys. It is just Tom Ford Noir. This fragrance is freaking fantastic. Absolutely a killer fragrance, and you guys need to go out and try this one ASAP. And what I like about it is that it's much less sweet than Tom Ford Noir Extreme. It is more masculine, more spicy, more woody, more ambery, more sexy. It's more like powerful. Like this guy, you don't want to mess with this guy. You want to mess with him at the same time, but you don't want to mess with him, if you know what I mean. Tom Ford Noir Extreme is more sweet, it's more cocooning. I would wear Tom Ford Noir Extreme. I would not wear Tom Ford Noir. It is for a man. It's very sexy, it's very demanding in its black bottle. It's ambery, it has some patchouli, it has some iris, it has a spiciness, it has a bit of a green touch to it. It's just absolutely fantastic. A 10 out of 10. Tom Ford Noir. Go and get this fragrance, you guys. Go and get it. I recommend it for a night out. If you're going out at night, maybe a restaurant if you like to smell a little more edgy, definitely wear Tom Ford Noir. A date, if you're going on a date with me, you wear Tom Ford Noir, please. And yeah, that's where I would recommend. It's not an everyday scent. It's not a day-to-day fragrance. It's strictly for a night. That's how attractive and sexy this one is. Tom Ford Noir. Next up, guys, I have a very affordable one in the list. We have one from Rochas, and it is Moustache Eau de Parfum. Now, I saw a lot of people talking about this fragrance now, and for good reason, because it is incredible. I love and adore this fragrance, and actually the reason that I tried it for the first time was because I love Tuxedo. It's one of my favorite of all time men's fragrances, of all time, period. I will never not love Tuxedo, and if Pierre would wear it every single day of my life, I would be very happy. But I wanted to try and find a more affordable alternative to that scent, and a lot of people were telling me to try Moustache, and I did. And it is really, really incredible. The fragrance really smells similar to Tuxedo, like a lot. It's a very ambery, slightly green. It has some patchouli, some vanilla, some amber, some benzoin. It is just fantastic. It really does remind me of Tuxedo. And if you, honestly guys, I would tell you right now to go and blind buy this one. Go and blind buy Moustache Eau de Parfum from Rochas. I will have the link here. You really, really need to try it and go out and get it because it is fantastic. It's a no-brainer. It's sexy, it's long-lasting, it's powerful, it's addictive, it's fresh at the same time as being a little bit oriental and sweet. and it is just a 12 out of 10. So Moustache Eau de Parfum from Rochas, I'm gonna link it down below. You need to go and get this one. It is a complete no-brainer, especially considering the price. It is fantastic and it smells like my baby tuxedo. Next up, we're nearly at the end of the list, so bear with me. We have one from Bottega Veneta. Now, Bottega Veneta is a severely underrated fragrance house, in my opinion. If you're a fragrance lover, you need to go and try their fragrances because they really are fantastic, especially just the normal line, not the exclusive line from Bottega Veneta, just the normal line of fragrances. The quality is really, really something special. Like, compared to a lot of different designer brands, the Bottega Veneta line is absolutely high quality, fantastic and unique fragrances that you need to try. So my recommendation and my favorite is Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Extreme. Now you can kind of go with either one because there is three. I believe there is three in the line. There is the Pour Homme Extreme and Pour Homme Parfum. To be honest, I love all of them, but I'm gonna recommend the Pour Homme Extreme. It's a very sexy, very dark, very masculine. The line of fragrances for men from Bottega Veneta, they are utterly masculine. They do not smell like a woman could wear them whatsoever. And that's what I like about it. Sometimes I like a guy to really smell like a guy, and in that case, the Bottega Venetas are perfect. Pour Homme Extreme is a very strong, woody, slightly green. It has this pine needle sort of note, like you're stepping into a forest mixed with some leather. So maybe you're in a leather jacket cutting wood in the forest. That's kind of what it smells like. It's very masculine, it's very strong, it's very woody, a little spicy, and it is just really, really fantastic. As a masculine fragrance goes, this is the one that you need to get. Bottega Veneta Pour Homme Extreme. Finally, drum roll for my last fragrance. Again, this is a bit of a left field fragrance. I don't think you guys have ever heard me talk about this scent, but I have to, because every time I've smelled this fragrance on a guy, I've given them countless compliments on their fragrance. It is Santal Royal from Guerlain. Now, this is not a part of their like basic line, but it is not expensive at all. You can find Santal Royal at really, really cheap prices, so I will leave a link down below. Santal Royal. Now, I smelled this in Paris so frequently on men. It was crazy. I smelled it on so many people in Paris, I cannot tell you guys, especially men. Well, actually, to be honest, only men. I only smelled Santal Royal on men in my life. And the way that it smells is something intoxicating. If you don't know, Santal Royal is a rose and oud fragrance, and don't let it scare you that it has rose in, because it really does not smell like a feminine fragrance whatsoever. This is very strong, very Middle Eastern, very Oriental, very powerful. You wear this, you smell like you own a Fortune 500 company. You smell like you're on the Forbes 30 under 30 list. You smell like you own a $40 million house. You smell, I'm sorry to say it, and I'm sorry to compare a fragrance to smelling like you're rich, but this really does smell like you're rich, and some people like to smell like that. That's what this fragrance does. It is really crazy, but I do have to say, you really have to be acquainted with the scent of oud, because the oud is definitely here. And it does smell slightly animalic. There is a slight animalic quality to the oud in the fragrance, although it smells like this fragrance is the best of the best quality. From Guerlain, you're gonna get nothing else, but you do have to like oud, because the oud in here, it does have a subtle animalic tone, but it just smells wonderful. Trust me on this fragrance, do not smell it on the card and make up your mind about it. Spray it on yourself, walk around and see if you like it yourself, because the magic of this fragrance is the way it smells when you're wearing it. Santal Royal smells like money, it smells expensive. Wear it with a black leather jacket, wear it with a black suit, wear it when you're going out at night, wear it when you're going to a lounge or a dinner or something at night, and watch the heads turn at you, because they're going to when you're wearing this fragrance. Santal Royale, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Personally, I like the way that it smells on a man much more than I like the way it smells on a woman, which is kind of strange because it is a rose and oud combination. But for me, this smells better on a man. I hope that you enjoyed hearing about my favorite men's designer fragrances currently and of all time, because the list doesn't really change from year to year because I like what I like and that's it. So I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what else you want to see from me, or if you have any suggestions of some designer men's fragrances that I should try out, I would be very interested in doing so. So let me know. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.